we've got a new wing, and just look how nice it actually fits. So we're going to do all the welding in behind this. But you ready? Tell me what that is.
This is the new merch that's coming out, and you better get it today because it'll almost be sold out. Please support my daddy with new merch. All the links will be down below in this subscription below, so you can get this amazing, fantastic cup that has ever been born in the cup history.
Hello and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Yes, we have now finally got this new wing. It came about a week later, and what we have to do now is we have to do all the welding in behind, and as you can see we've also got to do this because this is how far this got pushed back. So all the metal here, I'm going to have to make up all this here. We cut this out because this is where the crease is, so I'm going to have to get all this nice and new. And at the same time, what we're going to do, because we might as well, is repair the big hole down there and also repair that big hole down there. So we're going to repair everything. So just let me get this ready. And we also have to make a lip. There's a special lip that screws onto here and bolts onto the wing, which you can see is here. It takes up the gap between the actual rail and the wing, because there is a gap all the way along there. The wing doesn't bolt straight onto it, so we have to make that as well. And then we can fit this wing for the last time. Now if you've got an awkward shape like this and you want to find how long it is roughly just to cut your piece, this does work. Get your piece of string, hold it to the top. Because it's string, you can bend it in any place you want and you will get the exact length of material you need by putting the string around the corners. Now we've just done one repair there. It's really good. We've actually got this galvanized steel, so actually it's protected from behind. I could grind all that off to make it look flat, but there is really no point. It's nice and strong. I wanted to leave it that way. So now we're going to concentrate on this bit here and getting all this done. So I've got the piece of metal here. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to bend the return lip, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then bend it on here, try and make it as best I can, then actually cut it around. Then we'll use that as a separate piece under there. What I'm doing is doing my measurements and I'm just bending it in the vise, getting a nice 90-degree bend. That's all I'm doing. Now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just taking measurements off the actual box section itself. So now I've come to here, I've got my marks either side, and I'll make my next bend going in that way. And you can see the cross section of it there. Then we can actually weld it in. Right, as you can see we're very close to the actual mark. I've got to extend it just to come over here, but I've got to do a bit more work. So there's a second plate that goes there. But we're very close, just with a bit more bending, a bit more cutting, just to get it right, or to get it fairly right. All this is going to be covered anyway, so you're not going to really see any of this. It's not, doesn't have to be blended in like the back or anything. It just has to be structurally strong. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, we're going to put the strength back into it. Right, you can see we've now got this panel fitted in. It's just tacked in at the corners. I've even made this little cutout for it here. Separate, it finishes at the panel line here, and then this is a separate panel which we'll make separately. But as you can see, it's following that quite nice. Once we've welded it, grinded it all down, you'll never know it was in there. It looks like we're on fire, but we're not. Now you can see it's welded. I haven't completely welded it in yet. Now I don't know if I'm going to grind off these particular welds because you're not going to see it in behind the wing, and it's a bit of extra strength. I will clean up the top. I haven't completely done the top yet, but the underneath here and the sides really don't need grinding back because you're not going to see it. I just need to repair that other little bit in there now, and yeah, get to this part. Right, not that this makes any difference, but I've managed to keep my normal panel line, and I've slid this piece of metal in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of spot welds, grind them all back so you'll never see it, even though I'm not going to grind these back, but it just we'll see. But anyway, so I got this piece of metal in here, so this section, once I've welded it all in, this section is completely done. So yeah, and if someone looks underneath, well, it's not even so much if someone looks underneath, it's more there was a hole here, so all the crap from the wheel would have gone up into the engine bay, and the air filter intake is basically just above this, so obviously that's not a good thing. So yeah, it just stops all the crap getting into the engine and possibly literally inside the engine. Right, I'm just getting the thickness. We're making this as the new panel that sits inside the wing and sits onto the actual car. I've got the widest point, which I just quickly bent this piece of metal. So all I'm going to do now is, on this, I'm going to put this to the bend, put it to the edge, and I'm just going to scribe my line. I'm just going to put that and scribe a line. See that line coming through there? Now hopefully you can see that line going all the way up to there, and then I'm just going to cut that line off. Just going to keep it nice and straight off this one. See that line appearing there? So I'm going to do all that, just cut it nice and straight. We'll have a nice and straight line, even and straight line. Did I say straight? Because I said about straight 10 million times.
Is it straight, Leon?
I think it's straight, yeah. Right, as you can see, we're done. We've got that on. Just a little bit more tidying up to do. Drill some more holes out, nut and bolt the wing on, but that piece now is in. The wing's nice and level still with this. I got a bit more trimming to do here, just a bit more messing around to do. I've just put that screw in there just to hold it, but I'm going to put some the original screws that were in there because lucky enough they line up with them holes. So we just put all the original screws. We'll have to drill new holes for the actual wing, but that's not a big deal. And they're nuts and bolts on the wing. So yeah, but as you can see, we're getting there. Just tidy that up, and it's going to look $1 million. And then we're going to weld all the new pieces in this side. Look now, we got that piece in. You can see that lines up really quite nicely. The corner lines up nice. The indicator still lines up nice. And the corner of the wing to the deck all lines up really nice. So that little spacer panel took a little bit to make, but yeah, it's done. Nice. Right, now you can see what I've done. I've actually cut off the back part of this and I've straightened all this out. This was all creased in before. So now what I can do is I can build my new panel from here all the way across, and lines up with that lip here once I bend all that back, and then just spot weld it all back in. I've got my lip at the top, got my lip at the bottom here, and I'm gonna have to straighten my lip here. But then essentially it's all back. This was the piece I cut out. You can see how bad it was. No point trying to do anything with that. We'll just repair it from the back, make our nice return lip there, weld it all back in, double check, just make sure we've got nothing is moved, because I've hit this a few times, so I have to put the wing back on to make sure nothing is moved, but then we can weld everything together. Now we've still got the corner lined up. I've got that metal piece in, it's not in properly, and I'm just, because I'm welding that new corner piece in, I just want to make sure nothing's moved, and as you can see, nothing has moved. It's all good. So now I know, I take all that back off, but now I know we're in the right position and I can actually weld in my new corner piece and get all that working. You can see I'm getting there now. I've just got a few little spots that I have missed on the weld, but you know, you normally have to go over it a couple of times anyway. We've got the line, as you can see, really nice. Now I've got to cut out this piece to make this line match up again, and I've got to make a little return lip for this to weld that on there. But as you can see, we've got the line fairly well. Again, still, you know, a lot more welding to do. A few more little panels to make there to make this gap up and stuff like that. But we are getting there. That big hole's gone. We've got the strength back in here. So I'm just going to drill some holes on this side. Once I got all this, spot weld this to that, that to that, and same on here, same on this lip, and then we can put the wing back on and you'll never ever see that us. Right, so now we've finally got the wing on. Headlight, indicator, bonnet, wing, so all the gaps are okay, everything is right, looks well, and it is looking like a car again. Right, look at this, we got lights. I haven't plugged that one in yet, so that's not working. Wipers are all back on, all the wing is back on. Jesus Christ. So yeah, we just got to do the body work now, which we'll do another day, but it's all the main panel work is actually done. The crash repair, it's all done. A few little bumper corners, brackets to go on, but that's not a big deal. As you can see, look, everything lines up absolutely lovely. So as always, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, links down below, but most important, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted.